It is corn season. Late July to mid-September, best time of the year. I love corn, and I especially love corn on the cob. Here is 3 different variations. So the first thing we need is corn. 10 ears, nice and peeled. Both of these are going to go on the barbecue. The first one, we've got 5 ears, put it aside. Into a container, about 4 ounces of butter, a stick of butter. If you've got the sticks, now you want it softened. It doesn't need to be melted. It needs to be softened because you're going to smear it on the corn. So I've been letting this one sit out for a couple hours. And there's our butter. To that, see how mushy it is? To that, we are going to add about ½ a teaspoon of garlic and ½ a teaspoon of paprika. And this is Parmesan, but a good teaspoon-ish. And of course you can vary these to whatever your liking is. So we mush it all around and combine it all just like that. You can see how gooey it is. So here's our corn. Now the idea is you're going to put all that buttery stuff on each of the cobs. Of course, if you've never done it, it's a little bit of a learning experience to kind of figure out how to hold the cob, and then of course the butter makes it kind of slippery, so it starts falling when you hold on to it. And of course, as everything, by the time I'm done, I've got it all figured out down to a science. There's enough in that butter to do 6 ears. I just did 5. You could even spread it out for 7 or 8 if you really wanted to. And this is also a great option for the oven if you don't have a barbecue. I didn't try it, but I really think it'll work in the oven. We're going to slather up the 5 ears of corn, and you want to make sure they're nice and covered. And there we go, just like that. Those are ready for the barbecue that we'll get to in a minute. But before we do, of course, I want to put a little extra on because I'm really thinking, even at this point, that something's coming off on the grill whether I like it or not. A little bit extra paprika, a little bit extra Parmesan, and away we go. Here's our next 5 ears of corn. That is about 2 ounces-ish of butter. Put it in microwave 30 seconds. This one needs to be melted because we're going to put it on after the corn gets barbecued. So into this melted butter goes a ½ teaspoon of chili powder. And then we're going to mix all that together. This is a spicy butter. So to that we're going to add 2 teaspoons of lime juice. I got my nice squeezy bottle of lime. Works perfect. And a teaspoon of salt. Well, I know from cooking that lime and corn go together really well. There's no reason it's not going to go together here. I think it's going to. So we'll put that aside until our corn's ready. And once our corn's done and out of the barbecue, thanks to my daughter, that's kind of what it looks like. It's got some char on it. Now the ones on the left were the Parmesan and butter. And of course the ones on the right, I'm putting that butter sauce we just made up onto the ears of corn. And of course you want to make sure you get as much of it spooned on as possible, just like you would even a basic ear of corn where you want to put some butter on it. And of course, salt and peppering it is totally up to you. If that's a step you want to do, go for it. And of course, I like to get the two sides. So I'll do the top and then flip it right around to the back side. And we'll get all the butter on the other end of the corn. Now at this point it smells really good because the lime's kind of coming through. And you know how good lime smells. Unless you don't like it, in which case it doesn't smell good. But it's looking good. Okay, done. Let's get these onto a plate. So there's our first two done. They look nice and they are yummy. It was actually the chili lime that I really liked. It all comes down to a person's own taste. So let's get on to the third corn on the cob. And that is honey butter jalapeno. So this one's pretty straightforward. I've got 2 ears of corn. Actually, I've got 3. And I'm just kind of breaking them up to make sure they fit in the pot. So to the pot, we've got probably about 2 cups of water. To that, I put in the 1 cup of milk. And of course, you want to put it in before it starts boiling so it doesn't curl. And that's about 4 ounces of butter. I'm just going to let that kind of melty down into the milk mixture. Away it goes. And you can see it's starting to warm up now. So I figured a gradual warm up would be fine. We also need some honey to go with it. Yum-o. Well, this is 2 tablespoons of honey. A lot of it was sticking to the spoon, so I thought, what's one more? And to be honest, you could put in 4 or 5 tablespoons of honey. It's not going to hurt it at all. Mix that all around. And our last ingredient is jalapenos. Now I had these in the freezer already chopped up. You want a couple anyway. Jalapenos chopped up small and diced and thrown in the mixture. I guess you could put slices in if you'd like. It's up to you. Then we're going to bring this up to a boil. Once the watery, milky stuff is boiling, in go our corn. Now this was kind of a trial. I want to see how well it worked, so that's why I'm only doing 3. This is kind of a lunchtime snack to try. We're going to cook this up about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally just to make sure everything's all nice and covered up. And of course, there it is after the 10-minute mark, out of the pot, onto the plate. It kind of looks like regular corn on the cob. I threw a little salt and pepper on it. Now, it did have a little bit of heat, but it was pretty tasty. There you go, corn on the cob, cooked 3 different ways. Yummy. Well, I hope that made you hungry, and I hope that's something you're going to try. Listen, if you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up, a like below. And if I haven't talked you into it yet, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. That'll tell you the next time I upload a video. And I really hope you enjoyed this. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.